and welcome to the second part of installing the Tubeless system on an Husqvarna 701 Enduro. In this part we will cover the rear wheel, and for this wheel I decided to go with the Mitas EF-07 green stripe tire. I will do a review of the tires, but first I need to give the whole setup a try and see how they behave. If you already watched the first part of this installation, you will notice that the instructions are the same, only the issues I encountered are changing. But maybe you are sticking around just to see how the tire looks on the bike, I don't know. As on the front wheel, you need to have the bike on a stand or some sort of improvisation like I did in order to remove the wheel. Next, you will need to remove the wheel from the bike and start removing the old tire from the rim. To remove the tire, you will need 2 or 3 tire irons, and I can tell you from the beginning that this will not go as smoothly as the front wheel, as you will see soon when I struggle to get the tire off. Being caught in the moment, and because I wanted to finish with this as fast as I could, I didn't stop for a second to reevaluate what I'm doing wrong. And I ended up spending way more time on removing the tire than if I just thought a bit about what I'm doing wrong. I could have used some lubricant to make the tire slip out way easier, but I went the hard route and tried until I got some helping hand. I've cut most of the part where I struggled with the tire so that we can move along, but I've added the part at the end of the video in case you wanna have a good laugh. After removing the old tire and the rubber band from the rim, it's time to enlarge one of the holes from the rim using the same 11mm drill bit. When you finished drilling, you need to use some sandpaper to remove the sharp edges from the hole so that the edges will not wear out the valve. Now, it's time to use a brush to get rid of all debris and some soapy water and a rag to clean everything up so that the rim tape can stick to the rim correctly. Now for the most laborious task, adding the rim tape. As on the front wheel, start from the center of the rim and go a full circle, after which moving the tape on the right side. Also, apply pressure on the tape as you are moving along to make it stick to the rim. After applying the tape for a full circle on the mid, proceed to the right side and do another complete circle. And finally, a complete circle around the rim for the left side of it. After finishing with applying the tape, apply pressure on it to make it stick on the rim. Now, use a sharp cutter and cut the tape where it's covering the two valve holes. You can first pinch the tape and after that cut along the hole. After doing all that, remove the rim valve nuts except for the hex one, which needs to go inside the rim, and align the tubeless valves with the holes by moving the tube inside the plastic protection cover. After everything is aligned, push the valves in the holes and just hand tighten the rim lock nut. Next, it's time to lubricate the tubeless system with something. You can use soapy water, but if you plan to add some tire sealant after that, it's better to use that as a lubricant instead, as soapy water will mess up the composition of the tire sealant. Now you need to get your new tire and start putting it on the rim. But before that, check if your tire has a spin direction and make sure you put the tire on so that it spins correctly. Using the provided metal plate, insert the rim into the tire by applying some downforce. Using a tire iron, go from side to side and push the rim inside the tire. After adding the tire to the rim, tighten the rim lock nut with a wrench and it's time to inflate everything up. As you can see, I learned from my mistakes and this time I am using the correct order of valves to inflate everything up. The small pump is quite fast on the front wheel, but for the rear wheel it takes a bit of time to inflate it. Inflating the tire chamber, it's time to check for air leaks using some soapy water. Spray the water all over the rim and check to see if any bubbles are showing up. Do this on both sides, and if you can't notice any bubbles, then you can proceed to the next step, which is adding tire sealant. Again, this is an optional step, so you could decide to skip this. To add the sealant, remove the stem from the tire chamber valve and add the sealant. Even though you will be tempted to give that bottle a good squeeze, don't, or this will happen. Now, inflate again the tire chamber for the last time to the desired pressure, and it's time to put the wheel back on the bike. Sorry for the bad angle, but was caught up in the moment and forgot to move the camera. Looks like we are all done, and it's now time to thank you for watching, and I hope that you learned something from this video. It's time to say goodbye for now, but not before showing you the entire part of struggling with the tire.